Alright, welcome back everyone, it's your Code King Zaf here, and as you can see we have the brand new Dark Meta team for the guild boss. I'm going to cover the build, the battle guide, and every single thing you have to know to get a good score. Of course, we got 85 rage, not too bad. Our mini just absolutely popped off with Sungo Hwan kind of falling behind, but don't worry, I'll cover everything you have to know to make sure you get a good score and to impress your guild members, of course. But very quick, if you want to improve your guild boss score by getting a bunch of free codes, make sure you jump and link down below in the comment section and support us for free. There is no cost at all. 2 weeks ago, your score was reset for the brand new season. We are now on season 12, which brings about a bunch of brand new codes, so make sure you press that juicy red support button. This page will come up. You press up, press yes, and you're done. Then you just wait, and the new codes we send to the My Patreon website. We have a bunch of codes coming out very soon. I'll remind you, don't worry, because this free program is obviously one of the best ones out there, especially when it comes to this game. And lastly, big shout out to Glorious Potato and also Calvin, the first commenters on our last 2 juicy videos. Now, for that said, let me jump in and cover the brand new Guild Boss Guide for the Dark Team so you know exactly what to do. But I want to mention when it comes to guilds, make sure, if you're looking for a solid guild, to join our Discord server. The link is down below. We have a ticket system to make sure you can find some of the best guilds out there, making it as easy as possible for you to find one of the best guilds. So make sure you go to the link down below and join us. That way, you can join guilds such as the Zafire's Guild, one of the best guilds out there. Of course, it is discord.gg/Zaf to join our very juicy Discord server. But let me jump in. Let's cover the brand new Guild Boss team to make sure you get a good score. We have Isla, we have of course Sungo Hwan, and we have Mini on team A. You want to make sure when it comes to this team right here that Sungo Hwan is on the second slot to receive Isla's passive when it comes to reducing our ultimate cooldown, right? Sungo Hwan wants to spam his ultimate non-stop, so you want to make sure he's provided the cooldowns to get his damage up. When it comes to team B, as you can see, we have Silvermane, we have Harper, and we have Libora providing some buffs and damage. When it comes to Silvermane, his build is very important to maximize on his damage. I'll cover that, but I want to mention right here, you might say, Zaf, why is Isla at A9 and why does she have an A5 weapon that's level 1? Because we're reducing our defense to make sure heals do not apply to our team. When it comes to Silvermane, that only applied to team A when we had Silvermane on team A, but right now he's on team B, so I don't think it applies anymore, but I'm keeping it the way it was because it just works. We got 14 billion on Silvermane, so I'm gonna assume it still works even though he is not on team A anymore. I'm superstitious, I guess, so I'm keeping things the way they are to make sure damage remains consistent. And when it comes to consistency, we have the Grimoire and we have the Moon Shadow as our weapons to increase our team's damage by a ton. These are some of the best ones out there. You want to make sure as well when it comes to JINWOO stats that you have them maxed out when it comes to intelligence to reduce our cooldowns, right? You want to spam your skills non-stop, so this is the perfect way to do it. He does not deal any damage on a team. He is just a supporter wearing that tracksuit, so make sure you run this set as well. When it comes to the greed set, yes, to increase our team's crit rate and crit damage based on the skills JINWOO has right now, he'll proc the greed set very fast, so make sure you run the greed set on him. When it comes to Isla, we have the Guardian set and of course the Self Blessing set, but when it comes to our main damage dealers, they both have the infamy sets on them, just because when it comes to my boy Sungo Hwan, you do have other options and potentially better sets, such as this right here. When it comes to armed and expert, right? This is probably the ideal set for him. The issue is I only have one perfect set, and it has to go on my boy Silvermane, so that's the issue. But honestly, when it came to infamy, it worked out just fine. Generally, on average, I got 20 billion on him, so give it a try. Try the 8-piece infamy set, but also try the 4-piece expert, 4-piece armed to see how your damage does. But when it comes to mini, of course, you want to run the 8-piece infamy set to increase our damage by insane amounts. And also, we have the mana regen on it to make sure mana doesn't run out too often because, well, honestly, Minnie is a mana guzzler. I'll cover that. Her mana consumption is ridiculous. When it comes to Team 2, we have the Greed Sun Harper, and we have the Angel White Sun Libora with the Self Blessing because Chaotic Wish does not work on his team because we have so much attack on Silvermane. When it comes to the extra set, when it comes to his buffs as well, he gets too much attack, so the Self Blessing set is the way to go to make sure his damage is maximized. He is no slouch. His damage output is very juicy, so we are running these skills as well when it comes to Cold Ice and Vacuum Wave, and these 2 skills right here to increase the amount of times we break, to increase the stacks on our greed set, to make sure the passive applies right away. We have Squall right here, and of course we have this one too to make sure surprise attack builds up all the break, getting those 10 stacks ASAP. And when it comes to blessing stones, you want to make sure you have this right here. Title Demon Slayer will save you. Because we use so much mana with this build, you want to make sure you have bonus mana and also bonus mana recovery to spam non-stop. You also have to make sure you use base attacks, otherwise you're kind of screwed. Basic attack and use your core attacks to increase your mana, otherwise, well, you'll be left like me in some runs and have nothing to do because your mana has run out, which does like, trust me. But speaking of rage, if you want even more rages coming in, make sure to run Reawakening for the bonus cooldown reduction. We are talking 24%, absolutely juicy. We have this as well. When it comes to We Are One, we run it because we get so much attack, so much defense, and so much HP on our team. And of course, Bloodlust, because when it comes to our Dark team, we need so much defense spam, so much offense reduction to make sure damage does get increased. Oh, I love these blessing stones, some of the best out there. But what about our cores? Well, as you can see, we have a lot of mismatched cores here. For JINWOO, you want the purple core 100% to reduce our mana consumption, and also cores with the mana consumption stat to make sure we can spam our skills and never have to worry about our mana pool reducing. So I ran those two on JINWOO to make sure he has basically infinite mana with a little bit of basic attack love to build up our mana pool, of course. But when it comes to our lanterns, you want to make sure on Isla to have only damage increase due to her passive, right? She gives our team more damage increase based on her damage increase stat, so I want to maximize it as much as possible. But when it comes to our main damage dealers, we have mana consumption on Mini as well to ensure she has enough mana. This is a must, in my opinion. A core of mana consumption reduction is the way to go. Otherwise, your mana will be reduced to levels where Mini just won't deal any damage, which is not ideal. And the same goes for purple core. Make sure she has the purple one, otherwise her mana will drain, which is not ideal. Or it's not idle because, get it, she's an idle collab hunter. Okay, I'll stop there. We want to run defense on as well to make sure on this guild boss have maximum defense spend in her stats to get a bunch of damage in, because the guild boss has too much defense, so defense spend is the way to go. Same when it comes to single one. This core right here and this core here are the ones that matter. I would swap out this core for this one if you have it, but the issue is still remain had to use that core, otherwise I was kind of screwed, so I ran this one in him. Honestly, it works. We get 20 billion on him. Try either or. It's not going to be that much of a difference. 20% crit damage on him is nice, but he already has a bunch of crit damage sources, so it's not ideal. But anyways, give it a try. Both these cores do work. Just make sure they all have defense spend on them to maximize on that juicy defense spend stat. The same goes to main. We have defense spend here, we have defense spend here, and more defense spend always, right? When it comes to cores that you have to run on server main, just these two cores right here. The purple core does matter, otherwise he will run out of mana. And when it comes to Harper, just run any cores, really doesn't matter too much. This core is good though for the bonus crit damage coming in, and this one to build up her power gauge so she can use her ultimate. But honestly, if you're running out of mana on her, run a purple core to help her out, otherwise you should be fine. But that covers the core build right here. Let me show you all the hunter stats. That way we have a good idea what's going on right here. So here is our mini. As you can see, our stats are obviously pretty good. We have 50,000 defense. Her mana consumption honestly could be just a bit higher, probably around the 6,500 mark, to make sure mana does not run out. But this is my mini. This is what works, so I'm sticking with it. Here is our boy Sun Gilhwan. You can see right here he has a lot of attack. We're talking 50,000 coming in, some defense spam, some damage increase, crit damage as well. Too much crit damage if you ask me. I'd rather convert to defense spend, but I couldn't. I had no other option, so I'm kind of cooked there. But in the future, yes, I would reduce his crit damage by 10% and put all those stats in defense spam, and a bit more crit rate would obviously help. 6,300 is just a bit low. We want to definitely go for 7,000 and higher, but those are the stats I'm working with. It worked out, so give it a try and let me know what happens for you. We have this on Harper as well if you want to see. She deals pretty decent damage, right? Around 2 billion, so make sure her stats are obviously valid. We have Silverman right here. We're talking so much defense spam, so much attack, over 50,000 as well. A bit more crit damage could obviously help. I should adjust them by a little bit to get more crit damage coming in and more defense spam, and reduce attack by just a bit, because 50,000 is honestly crazy. Here is Libora, her stats right here, some attack, nothing crazy. She doesn't really deal too much damage, so not the most important with the sports stats. And of course we have Isla. Here are her stats. Well, we only focus on one side here, that is damage increase. 55% is the way to go to make sure team members get all that bonus damage. Ooh, I love it. Her other stats don't matter. Just make sure her defense is reduced if you have Silver Main on team 1 to make sure she does not heal him. Otherwise, his passes won't proc, which will result in his damage dropping by a ton. And I think I covered everyone there. Let me just double check here. Yeah, we covered every single enter. Now, let me jump in and cover the battle guide to know exactly what to do. Now, when it comes to the battle guide, it's very straightforward. I'll have the full battle at the end of the video. That way, you can watch without any pauses. But as you can see right here, we dash in twice. Then once again, to get the Shadow Step in, then I use the perfect rotation of Cold Ice, Armor Break. Then the Moon Shadow comes in. We don't use Grimoire right away in the first phase. You'll see in a second. I use my QT right after Moon Shadow to get, of course, you guessed it, more Greed Sacks coming in. The Greed Sacks are so important in this run. You want to get 10 sacks as soon as possible to boost the crit rate and crit damage on our, of course, top 2 damaging hunters, that being Single One and, of course, Mini. You want to make sure that's always applied, otherwise you're not going to like your damage output at the end of the run. So we use our QT, then I use Grimoire, then you get ready for the dash right here. Boom, you dash immediately, use Shadow Sub, then use your QT. It'll come up for around 1.2 seconds. You want to use it right away to again get another Greed Sack. Watch from 2 all the way to 3, very juicy. Then, of course, rinse and repeat. Oh, I love this run. One of the easier ones out there, using JINWOO as a support. So Cold Ice, use Armor Break, use, of course, Moon Shadow, and then Grimoire dash to get the Shadow Step in. That is all you have to do over and over and over again. One of the best guild boss runs, in my opinion, making our lives so much easier. But again, use your QTs, as you saw, to build up the Greed Sacks. We already have 5 coming in, and now 6, and it keeps going up and up to get the bonuses applied. But besides that, we pretty much rinse and repeat. I do want to mention, when it comes to the break phases right here, before the boss goes in that break state, you want to use your ultimate and time it correctly, right? The altars are about to come out, watch, and we want to watch out for the lasers. Once the laser beams come out, you want to use JINWOO's ultimate. Watch very carefully right here. They'll come down and boom, you want an ultimate right here to make sure we clear them as soon as possible to keep on dealing damage. You do not want your hunters to waste a single skill. You want to use, of course, his ultimate to clear the entire map. He's weak, but he can do it. Then you Shadow Sub and rinse and repeat and apply all the buffs. I did pause here because I thought the run was actually bad because I messed up somewhere along the way using my QT maxim, but honestly, it worked out perfectly. You can see my damage result was quite high. We got 21.9 billion on Mini. We would have gotten around 1 billion damage more on Single One, but for some reason he slept on this run. Mini just popped off. Silver Main did great too, and all our other hunters as well. They popped off minus Single One. I guess he was asleep. He was probably calling JINWOO or probably texting Jinna. I have no idea. Very annoying, but that's the run. I'll play the full battle guide that way you know exactly what to do. But again, there's nothing really to cover here. Minus right here. You want to use your QTs or armor break skills to break on this phase here. You might have some troubles because sometimes Harper just plays around. It doesn't use their break skills. Very annoying. So you want to save them if you can. At least use your QTs after applying the buffs. Otherwise, you might not break, which is very annoying. But that covers the entire run. If you enjoyed, drop your like, make sure to subscribe. But also, if you want a bunch of juicy codes like Essence and more, to jump into down below. And of course, support us. Supporting is 100% free. There is no cost at all. You'll get a bunch of codes sent to you very soon. That way you can increase your guild boss score, of course. But on that note, everyone, this is Code Kings signing out. I'll play the full battle here. That way you can see what the battle is like, and you can adjust your runs accordingly.
I go back. So